Yeah. What's going on, guys? I'm Young Ak. I'm here with Joseph. You want to go by Joseph, Jojo, Pierre? What do you go by?
Whichever one. I mean,
Pierre T Fitness.
Some of my clients call me Pierre. My first name is really Joseph. My friends call me Jojo.
Yeah.
So it just depends. But the community, these people, I'm Pierre.
Yeah.
I'm Pierre T, guys.
Pierre T. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a trainer. You have this gym, this facility. How did you get started with training?
I started training when I was 16. So I started working out when I was 13. I mean, I would do push-ups and stuff when I was 8. I just always wanted to work out and stuff. But when I was 13...
How old are you now?
I'm 23 now.
23.
I almost forgot my age.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I was 13, I joined the track team. And then whenever track season was about halfway done, the track coach, the varsity track coach, was like, hey, you live down the street from me. If you want to, I can pick you up. We'll go to the high school, and I'll have you lift weights before school. So from then on, I was like, yeah, like I want to be big. And he told me, he was like, you have the genetics, like you'll get big pretty fast. And I guess I kind of just took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
So I took the opportunity when it was presented to me, and ever since then, I never really stopped. So
You're
when I was
from
13,
South Carolina, right?
I live in South Carolina.
You're from here?
No,
Where were you born?
I was born in Panama.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
bro.
And I've known you for years.
Yeah, I was born in Panama. Then
Yeah.
I lived in Germany. I lived on a military base.
Okay.
Whenever I think about my childhood, though, I think about Miami. So I lived in Miami for probably from ages 3 to 8, but it was like the best time of my life. The Miami Heat won the 06 championship.
Oh, yeah. You were there?
Yeah, I was living at the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So I'm a huge Heat fan. So like I live in this is technically Charlotte. So I live in Charlotte. I like the Hornets, but if they play the Heat gotta win.
Yeah.
Or like I'll root for LeBron, but like
Who's on the Jimmy Butler,
Kyle Lowry,
Tyler Hero?
Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, they made the finals 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coronavirus year.
So your dad, I assume your dad worked in the military. That's why you were moving.
Yeah, military family.
So what was that like? Like, did you like have friends and then you lost friends? Like, was it weird?
It was weird because I didn't really have friends in my childhood like that.
Mm.
I didn't have friends until I moved here to
High school.
not even high school. Because I moved to South Carolina or Charlotte area. We live on a state line, so
Yeah.
they kind of both merged. But when I moved here, that's when I started like really making friends because I wasn't moving, so we were always moving everywhere, different schools. It's kind of awkward as a child.
So like, you said like the track coach gave you that opportunity. Like, where did you get that sense of like chasing an opportunity then staying consistent with it? Because a lot of people don't stay consistent or disciplined. Like,
Yeah.
where do you think that came from within you? Was that like in your childhood or like something?
I mean, when I was young, my uncles, they would always like show me Dragon Ball Z. Like I'd see these jacked guys, or like we would watch wrestling, and I always wanted to be strong. I mean, what boy doesn't want to be strong? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The opportunity was presented to me, and I kind of just took it. I was still in middle school, but the high school was right there.
Yeah.
So I would lift weights before school. So ever since I was 13, it was get up at 5:30, 6, work out, and then go to class. All the other kids weren't doing that, and that really separated me. Like even now with work, I'll be up at 4:30, 4, depending which client I have.
Yeah.
Sometimes I won't have a 4:30 a.m., but I'll still be up.
So this has been like built in you since 13, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just subconsciously in me. Like I try to get work done early as I can.
Yeah.
So like the other day I had to realign some stuff here, like the floors, because the floors are rubber tiles.
Yeah.
And I got here like at 3:45, just because I want to get it out the way.
Let's talk about this place a little bit. Like, you have like a full gym. You have, how many clients do you have?
It's a hard question. It's a really hard question because I have online clients. I have one-on-one clients.
How many come here?
How many come here in person? In person, we probably have close to 30 people that come in. And then we have some people online that we don't see. So.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I met you when you were 18, I think. And we were just lifting in the gym. I met him through my powerlifting buddies. And just seeing from that, you were just like a kid, just jacked, lifting. And then now you have your own. You would always talk about it too. You're like, I want to be a trainer. Like, I want to have my own gym. And now to see it, like, I don't know how many years it's been, like 5, 6 years since we met.
About 4 or 5.
Yeah. I think almost 6, right?
5.
We met in 5. Yeah, we met in 2016, and it's crazy to see because not many people are your age. Like you're 23, right? Like people, like we're almost the same age. He's a year younger, but like people our age are like their main thing is like job, you know, going out on the weekends, which I know you like to have fun too, but like you're really adamant about your passion and working hard. And this guy works a lot. Like there's two people I know, my closest friends, Juan and Jojo. They work like insane hours. Sometimes I don't even see them for months. Like, where do you think that? Do you think that also came from like the discipline when you were a kid? Like, I just have to outwork everybody.
Yeah. I always want to do whatever I can to be the best version of myself.
Mm.
You know, because what I realized at a young age was, all right, just if you wake up early, if you work out every day,
Yeah.
you get results. Like if you keep doing it every day, you get results. And then I fell in love with that. Like I fell in love with the grind.
Mm.
Like
Became like an addiction.
it became like an addiction. Yeah, because you know, while everybody else was just going to class and then they go to track practice, it was get up earlier, lift weights, have class, have track practice, football practice, whatever it was at the time, and then have to study and then, you know, be up and do it again. And then after months and months of doing that, you're just subconsciously wired and you don't realize it, but then you start, I don't want to say comparing yourself to other people, but like people that are faster than you, now I'm faster than them. Now I'm stronger than them.
Well, what did you run in track? Which events?
I ran a lot of events. My main event was the 400 meter. I ran the 4x4, the 4x1, the 100 meter. Those are the main four.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was like?
One time they made me do the high jump, but that didn't go good for me. That went terrible.
Was the 400 like competitive? Like when you would do
Yes.
meets?
Yes.
And how, like would you place first a lot of times or?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really place first. My friend JJ placed first.
Yeah.
He was a national track runner.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that was like gonna go to the Olympics or nothing like that. You know, and just for me to have a 4x4 spot or have a spot in a 4x1, I had to outwork everybody. For example, like there was a guy that had a 4x1 spot. I don't want to disclose his name. I was working out so hard. You know what I mean? One day I practiced like whoever wants the spot, you got to race each other.
Yeah.
And then I just dusted him in practice. He took his cleats off. He went to the locker room. Somebody said he was crying.
Damn.
Hopefully he doesn't see this, but
Like,
but I mean, like I'm not the fastest guy alive. I'm not born the strongest. Like I have pretty good genetics, but I'm not like elite athlete. But just my work ethic got me places.
Yeah.
So whenever you realize that at a young age, you know, once you start getting older, you just know if I do this every day, if I work hard every day, if I get to that uncomfortable place, that uncomfortable feeling will get you results. Like we don't notice the results we're getting. We're like, this sucks. But then next thing you know, you have a gym, or the next thing you know, you've trained 200 people. You know, next thing you know, people think about a trainer, they think about me. So
like, you think that, I say this to a lot of people, like, strength is kind of relative. Like, if you're doing bench, that doesn't mean, like, if you have, like, a 400 bench that you're able to, like, wrestle really well. Like, the strength doesn't transfer, like, for example, like, I want to say, like, boxing. You know, you're not going to be a great fighter if you're squat or bench. It's like, it's different sports, kind of. Like, what do you think about that? Like,
I think that's true. Your body adapts upon the stresses you put upon it. You know, if you run miles every day, you're gonna have the body of a runner. If you run sprints every day, you're gonna have the body of a sprinter. You train like a football player, you're gonna be a football player.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're just a big jack guy, you're gonna be very strong, very big, but you're not gonna be very mobile. But if you train mobile for strength and everything's together, you're gonna get different benefits. So it really just
that's
depends.
something I see you do. You incorporate your clients. You do like boxing, high interval it's called HIIT, right? High interval intensity training, and then you do circuits. Like, I really like that because just looking big and like lifting, like, it doesn't really do anything for like your long-term health, I think.
Lifting?
Yeah. I mean, lifting, but like, you think it's like for people that lift just to look good, you think it's like useless, or?
I want to say it's useless because resistance training makes your bones stronger.
Yeah.
You know, there's like scientific studies, like if you get this guy's bones and this alcoholic drug addict's bones, or just a sedentary person's bones, diabetic person, somebody that hasn't done anything in their life. I can't curse, can I?
Nah, you can curse. Yeah.
You know, somebody hasn't done shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their bones won't even look the same. Like, just look at Arnold. Arnold was lifting to look good,
Yeah.
but he's in his 70s now, and he still looks like a beast. The Rock is 47.
Yeah.
You guys know he's just still getting after it. He still looks like a beast.
Yeah.
So, it definitely will keep you.
I guess it depends
strong.
on your goal.
It just depends on your goal, but it's not good to just lift. Like, you also want to be mobile as much as you can. But honestly, any exercise, like if you're just using your body, exactly, because our body's meant to be used for work.
Yeah.
Like when you're old, it's gonna show. So
maybe that's why like the Greeks and Egyptians were so jacked, because they're like moving bricks all day.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how to transition this, but I was gonna talk about like a moment in your life. Like people like Instagram is really fake. Like people will see like, oh, this guy has a gym, he's like jacked, but they don't understand like you went through ups and downs. Like it went up and down. So like talk about a moment in your life where you were down and you had to like really fight through to get back up, like a specific moment.
Yeah. Oh, when I was 19, I did a powerlifting meet, and about a month after the powerlifting meet, I had a brain hemorrhage. You know, which basically when you have a blood vessel, it pops. 50% of people die. Out of the 50% that survive, over 80% end up paralyzed or messed up. I'm not paralyzed or dead, but whenever I got out of the hospital, at the time too, I just got certified. I had a job lined up at a gym. This is what something people don't know. I was gonna work at a gym.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It didn't happen because, long story short, I had the brain hemorrhage. It happened in a certain part of my brain called the temporal lobe. Activity in the brain in that area can cause seizures. I had a seizure. If you have a seizure, you can't drive your car for 6 months. So that happened to me, and my first client that I trained, I was like messed up. Like I put a post on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for like 6-week coaching. Somebody come in. I had a old friend from high school named Zach, and he wanted to change his physique, and he had already lost a whole bunch of weight, but he needed to get to the end. So I trained him for 6 weeks. I made his program with like a messed up brain. Like during that time, for example, it was near Christmas. We were building gingerbread houses, and like my brain got tired making a gingerbread house. Like I couldn't understand. It didn't make sense to me, you know. So I made his program one day. When I had like some mental energy, some mental strength, I swear I made his program in like 45, 50 minutes. And I passed out for like 18 hours. Like I woke up like the next day, like the whole day passed. I thought I just took a nap, and that just goes to show like how weak my mind was. But I got the program made, and long story short, my first client got a transformation, and everything from there, 1 turned to 3, 3 turned to 8, and then now I'm here. So people don't know that. Like people think that I'm just like elite. Oh, I just like had the balls to just start a business. I was forced to start my business because I wanted to start at a gym and learn the ropes. I had to go out of my way and get books about sales. I had to go out of my way and get books about marketing. You know, it wasn't just...
You got to do everything yourself.
Exactly. I didn't have a gym to teach me, this is how you sell personal training. This is how you grow your business. You know, everything that I did, I kind of had to do it on my own. Like I had to hustle my way to where I'm at now. Like how can I separate myself from these people, you know, and... That's what people think. Like it was just easy, and it wasn't easy. You know, like I almost lost my life, and I still was fighting. I was like, nah, this is what I'm gonna do.
You think that's what like motivated you even more when you came out of that? You're like, oh shit, like I could have died. Like I need to work like as hard as possible. You think that motivated you, or?
Yeah, it definitely motivated me.
So like,
because whenever that happens to you, like you don't play about your grind. Like every day might be my last day, and I know it sounds cliche, but I really live my life that way. It doesn't mean that I'm always up. It doesn't mean that I'm always progressing. Like sometimes I'm doing good and then I dip. I'm not a perfect person, but definitely all of that made me stronger.
So what advice would you give to somebody who wants to not only like change their life physically, but like mentally?
You gotta accept where you're at. You gotta be able to accept objective realities in your life. Like you can't just I don't want to be like cliche again, but you can't be soft. You can't be a bitch. You know what I mean? You just gotta fight for what you want. You know, you gotta find resources. You got to find mentors. And I'm not saying go find a mentor like in person. We live in a social media era. Like for me, my mentors were on YouTube. Like I follow people on YouTube, and they were doing what I wanted to do, and they didn't have perfect lives either. And I gravitate towards people that had messed up lives and they made something happen.
Who do you follow on YouTube?
I don't really watch YouTube like that no more. But one guy that really had an influence on me was
Mike Rashid.
Yeah, he's a big one. Yeah, he's a big one. When I was 13, he was definitely a big one because when I was like 13, like this guy's jacked. But when I saw him before I started really lifting, I saw him and he was with CT Fletcher and all them guys. I found CT Fletcher first, then I found him. But his physique was so amazing. But my physique, I was like, if I get big, I'll probably look similar to him. Yeah. I don't want to say like I wanted to look like him, but I knew that if I worked out a lot, it'd be similar to his physique.
Build.
Exactly, like similar genetics. Like I'm not saying that I have his genetics, or I'm not saying
everybody's different. Yeah,
exactly. But like people are gonna have similar genetics, so I think I gravitated towards him because of that. And not only that, he just had a crazy life. I mean, his workouts were crazy. He would do like 225 on bench for like 200 reps, and he had like 8 businesses. I'm like, what the hell? Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? And then I think that definitely had an influence on me. Seeing that at 13, 14. And just following guys like that, but not just him though. I know that you know that I used to follow him. I still follow him. Yeah. Simeon Panda, I like to follow him. There's a lot of bodybuilders that I follow. I like Jeremy Buendia. You know, I like Chris Bumstead. As far as bodybuilders go, those are the guys that I was following.
What about like business wise?
Business wise?
Yeah.
Grant Cardone.
Yeah, Grant.
That's my guy. Sales mastery. That guy right there. Definitely. Whenever I think about business, sales, like marketing, that's the first person I think about.
Cardone, yeah. Gary Vee.
Not as much. I mean, I watch Gary Vee. I have some of his books. Yeah. But like Grant Cardone's books, I've read like 4 or 5 of his books. Like he has books where you have to like do assignments and stuff, and like I'll really be doing them. And I'll do it again and again and again.
Like business books.
Like sales books. So he has a book. He has a book called A Closer Survival Guide. So it's like if somebody says this is how you say this. Like say this back. If somebody says they're waiting for their spouse, you reply with this. If somebody says they need to wait, you reply with this. And then not just that, I remember a book he posted. I said he posted in a book. He wrote in his book the people he learned from. So guys like Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy. So now I'm like, okay, so these are old school guys. Like these are real estate guys that they made sales like in the 80s, 90s. I might be wrong, but I'm assuming it was 80s and 90s. And then so that helped me too because I'm like, okay, so I'm following Grant Cardone, but he learned from these guys. So I'm going back a generation now, and I'm learning like old school sales. But that went so far for me. Like even just the way I talk now, like it changed. I use different words and things like that. And some people will say that's manipulation, but I mean in a way we're all salespeople. You know, like if somebody comes up to you and they're like, I'm feeling angry or I'm feeling this way, they gotta sell you on the idea that they feel like that. If somebody just comes up to you and they're like, they're monotone and they're like, I'm sad. You're not gonna. They didn't sell you on it. Exactly. They didn't sell you on the idea. But if somebody comes to you and they sell you the idea that they're sad, you know, that's in a way that's sales. They sold you on the idea. So like, if you can use certain words and things like that to get things to work for you, why not? You know what I mean? We have our vocabulary for a reason. So.
And it's worked for you, I guess, because you got so many clients coming in.
Yep, it has worked for me.
So, like, what are some of your future goals, like, with the business or yourself?
I think reaching a bigger audience because right now, it's not like I have a crazy following. I only have 1,400 followers, but I have a bunch of clients. I can kind of control my income, which is nice. But I'm not the type of person that likes to stay in one place. Like, this was always my dream, was have a gym, you know, like, help as many people as I can. Now I have a trainer that works for me, and I want to have a team of trainers, and I want to see my trainers do good. Like, I don't just want to win. I want everybody around me to win. I want you to win. I want to see all of our friends win. You know who I'm talking about. And, like, my goals for the business is just to expand. More content, you know, different cities and things like that. Because it's nice to be able to help the clients that I have, the people that walk through these doors, transform them. They send me texts. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for all my clients too. But
larger scale.
Exactly. You want to always scale. You don't want to just stay in one place. Because my dream, like, I want to help as many people as I can before I die.
Around the world, not just like U.S., right?
Not just U.S., as many people as I can, you know, because, you know, I want that abundance. I want to help as many people as I can. I want to provide that value. I don't want to just be known as like, oh, he was just a personal trainer. I want to be known as more than that. and that hasn't gone away just because I
Yeah.
have this now.
Mm.
And I don't think I'll ever be the type of person to like get satisfied.
Mm.
Like I'm really proud of where I'm at, but sometimes I'm like, man, I gotta get to that next level.
Yeah.
Which sometimes like none of us are perfect. You can't expect perfection,
Yeah.
you know. But sometimes you gotta be hard on yourself, or else you won't get to where you want to be.
Mm.
So, because I understand certain, like we were talking about, I understand certain things. Like I know if I do something every day, if I can surprise myself every day,
Mm.
like if you can do that over and over and over, you're gonna get to a different level eventually, and you're gonna not be able to tell until you make a big change. Like for example, I was training people from the house,
Yeah.
and then now I didn't notice how much progress I was making until it was like, dang man, I need to get a gym. And then now I have this. Until I got the gym, painted it, and put the floors down and turf down and the boxing bags and
That's
all
when
of
it
this.
hit you.
It hit me.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I really just do all this?
Mm.
You know? And
Yeah.
then I was so busy. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, this was a very good moment for me too. I was so busy with clients. I was like, man, I'm going to have to start telling people no.
Yeah.
And that exact thought, something in my brain like did like a 180.
Mm.
It was like, what are you talking about? Stop.
Yeah.
And then right then I made an Instagram post. Hey, I need help. Like if you're a
yeah.
trainer and you want to get a job, you know, just hit me up.
Mm.
And then now I have somebody that helps me, and I would like to have a team of people that help me.
How did you like figure out all the finances? Because you're so young, and like even for me, like just figuring out, I had a business too. It was tough, like the taxes, like budgeting. Like how did you figure all that out?
I have books about taxes.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I read all kinds of books. I would say the books. Robert Kiyosaki, he has a book called Why the Rich Get Richer. Then his accountant. There's a book after that, but his accountant. It's really his accountant's book. It's called Tax Free Wealth, and you understand how capitalism works. You understand. Okay, so I have all this, but these are all these business expenses are really my way of paying taxes. You know what I mean? And some people don't understand how capitalism works. But if I'm living in a capitalist society, why would I not take advantage? So I would say books, man. Like we really become the books that we read.
That's facts. When did you start reading like a lot of books?
To be honest, I was always a big reader. Like when I was in elementary school, they would have this thing like you'd read books and then you would take a quiz on the book, and then like you get points.
Yeah.
And so like all the elementary kids were competing, and I would again competitive. Like I wanted to get the most points.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of stuck with me. Even when I was not in elementary school, even before that, like I think I was already reading. My mom would take me to the library. I don't remember that too much, but I think all of that definitely had an influence on me. Like I remember I would take home like all the Goosebumps books.
Yeah,
like
Goosebumps.
I would read all of those, and then I got older, and then it was like it changed from fiction to what I want to learn about. Anything you want to learn about, there's going to be a book about it. And I love books because somebody that has a whole entire
experience.
Exactly. Like all of their mistakes in life, everything they've learned, you can learn it in like a week or two, you know, and it took them years. So I highly recommend everybody to pick up a book from somebody that's ahead of you or better than you in what you do. You got to drop your ego and accept that there's people that are doing what you want to do at a higher level than you. They know more things that you don't know. Like all humans learn things from other humans.
Yeah.
So you do that and you absorb the knowledge, you put it into application, not just read books. You got to put it into application, take the action, and you'll watch your life change because we really become the books that we read.
What time are we at? All right, last thing. Let me make sure it's still filming. Yeah. Last thing. I want to get you to give a message to, because we talk about this a lot, to any guys out there. You know,
Guys specifically?
Yeah, guys specifically. Young men, you know, dealing with heartbreak.
Heartbreak?
Yeah.
Like women?
Like women.
Okay.
Like, like, the guys basically out there simping, because we've been there.
Simping?
Yeah.
Oh. You want me to go hard, don't you? All right, go ahead. What you want me to say?
Like, just give them some advice. Like, let's say they're dealing with a heartbreak, you know. They put all this time into a girl, and now they're just like... Because we've been there, right? Like,
I haven't been there.
Nah, you've been there.
I haven't.
You've simped.
I have?
Yeah, you've simped once in your life. You had to.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. I probably simped. Don't tell nobody.
So, like, what would you say to guys like... I know the most common thing is, like, you stay on your purpose. You don't give her too much time. Like, you got to be a man, basically. What would you say to, like, young guys dealing with...
First thing I would say is, this is going to sound harsh,
No, go ahead.
but it's going to be the truth. You know, for example, men, not all men, but like most men, like if we're hanging out with a chick or whatever, you know, we need to understand, before you met her, you were fine. There was a time in your life where you didn't know these people. There was a time I didn't know you and I was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a time that you didn't know your friends and you were fine. So why is it this person came into your life, they left, and now you're sad? You were fine before that person even showed up. You know what I mean? And you got to understand, nobody's entitled to your time and attention. You know, you don't have to take nobody on multiple dates. You don't have to buy them food. They're not entitled to your time and attention. You know what I mean? Don't just give that to people. You know, the same way that women get mad, like that men want sex.
Yeah.
They're not entitled to our time and attention. Just like we're not entitled to sex. Don't give it to them. You know, focus on what you got going on, and then there'll be something mutual and it works out. That's fine. But don't go out of your way doing all these things for somebody, especially if it turns into like chasing and not reciprocating. Like, just drop it. You know, just focus on your goals, and you're gonna have more options.
I'd even say that with like friends.
Anybody. Yeah, anybody. Just don't give people your time and attention.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. You got to really value that, you know, because you got to think about it. Like, for me, I have a short, I don't want to say temper, but I don't deal with too much bullshit. So, like, if I see some things that I don't like the girl won't hear from me again. You know what I mean? And it's not that I just want to cut people off or anything. It's just that my time's too valuable. You know, it is what it is. You got to make your time valuable. Because I know that if you see signs, guys, that this is not going to last 2-3 years, or you see personality traits you don't like, just let it go. I don't care how much you like her. You're better off feeling that pain of her, like not talking to her no more or cutting her off. I'm not saying ignore her, but you know what I mean. Than you are if you were to keep chasing, and then you're in this relationship with this person that's controlling you for 2 or 3 years, and then now it doesn't work out, and you could have had, you know, I don't want to be cocky, but all the stuff I have, for example, or like anybody that you follow, they have all these nice things, these whips, these businesses. People got multiple businesses. These guys that got multiple businesses, these entrepreneurs, it's not like a woman gave it to them. They put themselves first, second, and third, and then they think about other people. You put yourself first, second, and third in life. Then comes your family, then comes your friends. You know, you got to be selfish. It is what it is. Like, you can't help other people if you can't help yourself. So you can't just be out here trying to save people, you know, and trying to be a knight and just trying to save everybody, save these women. It's just not worth it, man. Like, you're better off just focusing on your goals. That's what we're here for.
Facts.
So,
chase your goals. Stay on your purpose.
yeah, stay on your grind. Don't chase these girls, I'm telling you. And even vice versa, like, girls, like, don't chase these guys. Like, if a guy's not worth nothing, like, don't chase him.
Yeah, if he's
You know what
not.
I mean?
Basically, it kind of seems selfish, but like,
It is selfish.
You're looking
it doesn't
for
seem selfish. It's selfish.
And
But you got to be selfish. And people put this negative connotation on selfish.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know.
But you gotta offer, as a man and even a woman, you gotta offer some type of value. Like, if you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah, it's very true.
But yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
We'll have you on again, but I'll put his Instagram in the description. You guys can check him out. If you're in
We do online coaching.
online coaching.
You can find my transformations. Follow me at I am Pure T. If you're interested in getting in shape, follow at Royalty Fitness on Instagram. There's transformations on there, client workouts. If you go to my page, you'll see more of my clients. You'll see the results. Go from there. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, just hit him up if you want to get right physically, even mentally. I feel like you could spit some gems to people. Your DMs are open, right?
Yeah, just send me a DM.
Yeah.
Just hit me up.
Bet. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace out, guys.